What's up, Traders Edge? It's Mark Sebastian, your only option, and I'm here to update you on what's going on with the market. We're going to look at the S&P, we're going to look at the Qs, we're going to talk about what's ailing them. Hint, it might be named after a specific red fruit. And of course, we're going to look at the VIX. And then I will break down everything else you need to know going into Wednesday. So with that, let's dig in. All right, folks, obviously markets are in chaos. The S&P closed down 1.5% after being up more than 2%. The volatility index, the VIX, had about a 20-point range. But don't worry, I'm not going to leave you out there on an island. Every day while this chaos is going on, you can join me at 10 a.m. Eastern time, and I'll talk you through the market. You can add it to your calendar here and register if you want to attend live. We also record it and send it out so you can see later if you register. But you need to be registered in order to attend. But other than that, no cost. I'm just trying to help you. I'm trying to help all traders. So let's unpack. You know, I warned everyone on Monday that we might get a gap higher on Tuesday, and we did. Markets boomed open, hit a top of 52.67. Really strong move over the all-important 52.50 level. Then, on the downside, and this is why it's so important, why Alicia and I work together so closely. She told me, look out for 49.19. During that 5-minute candle, we dipped below it and then ripped above it. And from the low to the close, it took us about 12 minutes to move 73 points. That is how strong this market is. Look at average true range. This is how much we're moving high to low on a daily basis running over the last 10 days. It's up to 100 and over 160 points, 160.61. With the S&P below 5,000, we're talking like 3 1/3% a day is being priced in. It's about what we moved, a little bit less than what we moved on Tuesday. So we're continuing to see just huge movement. Until the movement subsides, that average true range is going to remain incredibly high. Now, where did all this pain really come from? Well, it kind of came from the NASDAQ 100. That was where the real pain was experienced. And the reason being has to do with Chinese tariffs and the biggest component of the NASDAQ 100, which is Apple. Apple's decision to save a lot of money building the phones in China has really caused the company to reset. All right, it's been moving at about $9 a day. That is huge movement. It's just had an incredibly ugly trip. I think I told you last week, this was one that I think still had downside. Took it on the chin. It's on the low. It was below 170, closed 172. It's got that the price earnings ratio is down to about 26. That gets below 20. Now we are talking. There is some value there. I told you yesterday, I'm not eating a steak yet in terms of how much market I'm buying, but I am starting to have an appetizer here. I think that we're at a spot where I can accumulate a little bit of long positions here, even with the turnaround. Volatility may, and that's kind of coming from the VIX. Volatility, despite kind of closing on a new low, did not get close to, didn't approach a near high, closed kind of middle of the day. Now vol's still high. We're still, I'll start believing that we've got, that we're making real progress when we close below where we were on April 4th, where we closed on April 4th. But despite the big turnaround, we did not hit a new VIX, which I think is telling. But it continues to be just huge demand for VIX options, VVIX up to 170. So there are option buyers out there in VIX. people are protecting themselves. So how does this all play out over the next couple of days? Well, you got to watch Apple. When that starts to roll over, the market rolls over. They are the poster boy for tariff trouble. And so on the 9th, we're going to have the rest of these tariffs hit on China. And that is probably going to be kind of the last major piece of news out of this tariffs that is going to be negative. From there, we should start seeing deals. You start seeing deals, market rebounds. So are we in the 9th inning? No. Are we in the 7th or 8th? Probably, at least of the major selling. And I do believe we're in the 9th inning of how high the VIX can go. Not necessarily, right? We could see we still got a couple outs in the 9th. So there could be a big change. But the way I kind of see things, I think we're starting to line up for either a full-on panic, less likely, or the buildings of a rebound. The market, I think, is at a spot where it wants to rally, and we're starting to see money deployed in the overall market. I want to check one thing on the SPX. Another busy day, 4.4 million contracts. Another day where we net bought exposure to the S&P, and traders were big premium buyers. Interesting stuff. There were almost equal deltas bought on short deltas bought on puts as there were long calls delta. So today was definitely a day of confusion. So I need you to just stay calm. Don't try and force anything. Have levels where you're willing to buy and buy some at those levels. Don't be afraid to buy, but have those levels. So I hit my first level, I bought a little bit. I've got another level lower here, and that's where I'm kind of looking to maybe eat a little more. And then there are a couple of spots about 10, 15% lower here where I'm buying with both hands. So again, have a plan, be ready to attack, and join me tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 9 Central, live. You can just click this link. And if you're watching me on the YouTube, please like and subscribe, and remember to watch Apple. I'm Mark Sebastian. I am your only option. Have a good one.